Right. How important was the bench contribution today, given Trey leaving the game in the second quarter?
Yeah, I thought they were terrific. We played smaller tonight, and we played, Jameer and Justin at the 4 and 5. I thought 𝗙𝗢𝗄𝗧 gave us good minutes in there. Really positive what they did. They kept us game steady for us. It was really good.
And any initial update on Trey's status?
I do not have one, no.
Hi, Brian. We know that Alex was under the weather. How big was it for him to not only play but have the performance that he did?
Yeah, terrific tonight. He obviously wasn't feeling good, but he'll step up to the plate. I believe career high rebounding. He was out there switching on pick and rolls tonight, protecting the rim. I think that's really the story of today's game. Is obviously we didn't shoot the ball the way we would have liked, but we're winning with our defense. We're able to get stops, able to keep them off the free throw line. And I think those are the things that make us consistent, and we got stops down the stretch too. I think that was really the story of the game. When you're not shooting well, you can still win the game. And we've done that here a little bit lately. Those are really good things. Those are really positive steps for our team.
You mentioned doing that lately. It's been kind of a recent trend. What can you say about the guys kind of buying into that identity?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think our defense is growing from basically the last month or so, but then even the last week, it's really even stepped up. You can see we're just disrupting teams, we're harassing teams, we're making plays at the rim, hustle plays. Those are stuff that are really winning basketball. We're making a ton of winning plays out there, and that's good momentum for our team, and that's a good growth.
Speaking of defense, Coach, can you speak to Bilal's defense tonight? He had that late stop on 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗧, but the whole game.
Yeah, he sets the tone at the point of the attack. I also think he had 10 rebounds tonight. It just causes havoc out there. It's hard to bring the ball up for him. It's extending where their offense is starting, and it kind of gets everybody engaged because they see him, and you have to respond to that. Your teammates see his intensity level. Him and Alex him up front, Alex in the back line. It's pretty hard to score on us right now.
And Chase asked you about Alex, and he, I think, finished with a career high in rebounds.
Yeah.
Giannis was out, but he also had to go up against Miles Turner. So what did you see from that matchup, and what enabled him to do that?
Well, I think it was multiple efforts because we were switching pick and roll, so it wasn't exactly like he was underneath the rim the whole game. So he was going to have to come back, and then obviously you saw him on the offensive boards too. I believe he had 7 offensive rebounds, and that was another big key for us offense. We had 23 offensive rebounds, 23 second chance points. I'm sorry, but we were attacking the glass, and those things help you win the possession game, and I believe we won the possession game by a pretty good number tonight.
How you doing, Coach? Can you talk about your team's resilience and executing to close this one out?
Yeah, I think we've been in these. I think we talked about this probably about a week ago. We've been in a lot of these close games here recently, and they're all good lessons for our group. And we're learning what we can do to execute on both ends. The most important thing is you got to execute defensively and be able to get stops, and we were able to do that. And then we were able to find some good execution things that we wanted to run offensively that led us some good shots. You saw the backdoor to Chris for Kyshawn. Bob made got those 2 big free throws. Kyshawn hit a little pull-up jump shot he had in the lane. All those things are just teaching us how to play in these close games. Those are great experiences for our group.
You just mentioned Kyshawn. What did you think about his aggressiveness at the end, attacking his matchups, getting to the basket, mid-range, whatever it may be?
Yeah, we want to put him in many of those positions impossible because he's going to be in those a lot in his career. It's early in his career. He's learning where he can get to. He's big. He can see over the defense. He can make the little pull-up, which is really good at the end of the games, and he can also make the passes. So all those things are really good to keep putting him in those situations, and we will continue to do that.
It seemed like your team had an extra skip and step after this, and we could hear some of the yelling from the locker room area after the game, like a positive yelling, not an angry yelling. What had the group so unusually hyped up after the game tonight?
I'm not quite sure. I'm probably too old to even understand half the stuff they do in there. So I think they were just happy. They were happy with the win, grinding out that way, and able to get that. I think they were just happy about that.
Did they say any of that 6-7 stuff, or are they too old for that?
I don't even know that stuff. I'm sure you're on top of it though, Josh. That's impressive.
BK, before the game, Christy had asked you about Bilal being aggressive. I know from an offensive standpoint, the score sheet doesn't have the gaudy numbers, but how did you feel he was based on your response to her about just getting downhill, attacking his matchup, and then do you feel he flipped it and used that aggression on the defensive end?
The defense is always constant with him. That never changes. I thought he was aggressive when he had the opportunities to attack. You saw that he got that one in transition there in the second half. He just kind of sets the tone for us on both ends with his aggressiveness, but the defense was terrific tonight.
Hey, Coach. Outside of Sarr, there wasn't really a whole lot of size in tonight's rotation. Is there anyone you're sort of trying to get to play bigger, considering how skinny some of the guys in your team are?
We did play smaller tonight. We had, like I said, we had Jameer and Justin playing the 4 and 5, and we were switching quite a amount of pick and roll. So everybody had to do their part. And you could see it. We made plays at the rim on some of their bigs that were pretty impressive. The guys scrambling over, digging out balls, blocking shots at the rim, getting on loose balls. All those things are just winning plays. It doesn't matter the size you are. We really fought, I thought, in there tonight. Really good.
And of your 12 wins this season, 3 are against the Bucks. Have you seen any patterns in these 3 wins, something you're taking advantage of in these kind of matchups or anything?
I think I said this in the pregame. We just take it game by game. Every game's a separate thing. I really don't have much more on that.
When the ball's in the air, nobody has possession of it. Just got to go grab it. So I think we did a good job of that tonight, obviously, for the numbers.
Kyshawn, there were moments tonight when Justin was playing the 5. How does he do it? I mean, how does he play much above his size?
I mean, that's his talent. That's what Justin does. All credit to him. He's an adaptable guy. He's in and out of the rotation, but when he comes in, he's a professional. He knows where to go, how to do it, and he does it at a very high level. So we're lucky to have him as a teammate. And, yeah, he's just going out there and finding where he could be efficient for the team.
Everyone in here knows you guys like to win, love to win, but it seemed like the team took a little bit of extra joy out of this one. Is that on target? And if so, why?
Actually, I was very happy out of the last 2 wins today and the game before because, first of all, the game before we closed out the game well, which is something we didn't necessarily do throughout the season, and we were able to get a win closing out the game well by getting some stops. And today, it's just being able to string 2 games in a row. We didn't necessarily have the best offensive night. The rhythm was kind of weird, but we were able to stick together, come up with stops down the end, and I think that's important for us is how we could win games consistently if we're not playing our best offensive game.
So, despite that, the team still managed to have 5 players into double figures. Of course, you led the charge with 23 points of your own. And also, a side note, the team was dominant from start to finish, 5-0 lead, then a 9-2, and you just kept that going. So, what do you think played the biggest factor in this team being able to be so dominant in a consistent way, not letting the other team get out of control with scoring and also keeping some sort of a rhythm throughout the game?
I think we're doing the simple stuff well. We have a couple simple metrics, very controllable, that we can control every single possession that we're trying to do. And I think when we focus on that, those stuff lead to winning. So if we focus on that every single possession and make sure we control what we can control every possession, then we have a chance of winning and winning the possession in particular. And the more possessions you win, the more games you win.
Thanks so much. Kyshawn, 1 foul tonight and 2 in the last game. And I think in January, this month, you've been averaging your lowest fouls of the season. So what have you been seeing? You obviously seem happy about it. What have you been seeing differently, and how's that progression been for you playing without fouling?
I think I got rid of the stupid ones, the frustration fouls and stuff like that. Obviously, I still have some, but I think it's just being able, just eliminate the stupid ones and just make sure I keep going still.
Bilal had that big stop at the end against 𝗙𝗢𝗟 on his drive, drawing a foul, actually. How big was that specific stop, and how big was his defense overall tonight?
I mean, that's what Bilal does, man. He's a lockdown defender. Everybody needs to know that. Everybody needs to acknowledge it. I think he doesn't get enough praise for what he's doing. But, he just did what he does. And just super proud of him to be able to come back, second game back, and be able to anchor our defense with Alex, too. So, super great to have him back.
Okay. Cool. It was John Wall night. Yeah, you heard a lot about his, extracurricular involvement in the city. How has his sort of legacy of community engagement affected this generation of Wizards players?
To be totally honest with you, I'm not necessarily super aware about his community engagement, but I know he was like a big leader in DC, not only for the team, but also, like you said, for the community. So just being able to see that, you're able to be a great basketball player, but also have an impact on the community is something that you look forward to as a player, and you try to, model yourself after.
Kyshawn, what does it say about Alex there he is, to be under the weather and to battle through that and have a career night rebounding the ball?
Yeah, I actually, it's the first thing I looked at his stat sheet after the game is I saw he had 17 rebounds. I looked at it and I said, thank you, because we need rebounding, and because of him, we won the rebounding battle. Just, it shows this testament that this team wants to play. We're young. We want to get out the floor. We want to compete every single night, regardless of the circumstances. And, yeah, I was just super happy for him to be able to be out there and help us win.
Malachi, I don't think too many people thought he was a guarantee to even make the team out of camp. What has he brought to this team this season?
He's a pro. Like, that's kind of the same, mentality as Justin. He just comes in and he knows how to play basketball. He knows how to hoop. He's a great player. He just gets here and impacts the game how he can. And I think, I'm really grateful for that, to have people coming off the bench having that same mindset to come in and just being able to hoop and dominate and not say, oh, I play a couple minutes, whatever. But, yeah, they're professionals coming out of the hoop and earning the minutes for sure.
And then how would you compare the defensive chemistry you have with teammates like Alex and Bilal and the guys that you've been playing with now for like a season and a half?
I mean, we got some steps to take, but I think it's starting to get easier. We got trying to, we know each other's tendencies. Like Alex, he's a great shot blocker. We know when to help and when not to help. We want him in the paint as much as possible. Same thing with Bilal. We know us two, we're great defenders. We could switch off ball. We could switch on ball. So it's just little things that make the defense more easy for us and, builds confidence.
Sure. Keep the streak going. Alex, how are you feeling, and what did it take for you to play tonight?
Yeah, feeling good now. I feel like being able to sweat it out helped me a lot, but definitely feel good and happy we got the win.
And what do you think was the key to you guys having such an advantage in the rebounding department?
I think just being more physical, making sure we hit them and just go get the ball, really.
Alex, can you talk about the effect that Jameer's defense is having on the team in general?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Jameer's really like a pest on defense. He gets a lot of steals. He's physical with guys. So, yeah, it's uncomfortable to bring the ball up against him. So that helps us a lot, just, I would say, having energy defensively.
Alex, you get 41 points from your reserves. Just how did the bench impact the game today?
Yeah, they impacted it in a big way, like they always do. We have a bench that's able to step up and raise the level of the game when the starters are not doing their job. So that's just great.
Can you talk a little about the energy tonight playing for John Wall night and how that affected your mentality going into the game and if you had any different goals?
Yeah, it was great. I feel like the arena was loud. Obviously, it was a great night for him, getting his recognition in the city because he's done so much here. So, I was just happy to see the love that the city gave him. And, yeah, it's just great to see.